Go for it.
Good morning and aloha, snack bar to all of you out there. It is the day after Super Bowl. It's Monday, February the 6th, 2017. And it's another Mornings with V and CJ where we give you the news, the information, the things that matter that most people are not even talking about. With that being said, follow us on Twitter at The Rogue Money. Check us out on the Rogue Money Facebook page, as well as roguemoney.net, where there's some exciting articles that are up. Also, guys, if you know someone that is in debt, that is getting harassed by collections agencies, or you're just making minimum payments, you're treading water by making minimum pages. Wow, I'm losing it this morning, CJ.
At least you did say
Minimum
pigeon.
minimum pigeons. If you're out there making minimum pigeons, you're kind of worried about it, and you can't get your head above water. Contact my boys over at myfreedomnow.us, myfreedomnow.us, the debt elimination experts. Talk to these guys. Heck, you might even book a call, and I might even call you. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, with that being said, check them out again on myfreedomnow.us. CJ, I'm a hot mess this morning, bro. I can't get through my lines. All the Super Bowl excitement and all the things that have happened. I'm still recovering, bro.
No worries. I think half of America doesn't go to work today anyway. So we may be looking at, you and the 21 people that are watching right now that are actually awake.
I know, man. I know. A hell of a game, bro. Hell of a game.
It was probably, I haven't watched a game like that in a long time, considering that when I was watching it, I actually shut it down just for a little bit, just because I thought at one point that Atlanta was just going to take it the rest of the way and close the game out. They just looked that dominant in the first half.
Yeah. I agree with you. They look so damn dominant that I'm like, you know what? It's Belichick. It's Brady. It's the friggin' Patriots. These guys are a second half team. They're always known as a second half team. Let's see what happens. And I was texting W. W was out in freaking Hawaii, sending me pictures of some luau he was at.
Nice.
This guy, man, it's unreal. He says, yeah, I'm watching the ball game. They got this wild boar roasting on the pit. I was like, are you kidding me, bro? Seriously? Yeah. He's
Wow.
like Patriots by 3, and I'm like, oh, Patriots by 7. They won by 6. I was like, wow, man, unreal.
Ironically enough, Trump did an interview earlier with Bill O'Reilly, and Riley kind of pushed him to, ask, who do you think is going to win? And he actually called the Patriots to win by 6 or 8.
Oh, wow. This guy's unreal.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It'd been nice to see the Falcons. I believe it would have been their first Super Bowl. But when you look at the history of the Patriots under Tom Brady, and then the amount of things that were achieved with this one game, I would like to correct one thing. I'm seeing a lot of people on social media saying that Lady Gaga gave the best performance ever during the halftime.
Oh God, I didn't even watch that.
Well, I give her credit for taking the high road. I don't think that she really directly made any comments or went completely political. But I would like to remind all those people saying that, not to discredit her, but she lip synced the whole time. So I'm not sure if you'd call that a true quote unquote performance.
What a joke she is. What a joke. Another media created joke she is. Nobody cares about Lady Gaga. Unreal, man. Yeah, I'm shocked you didn't say anything either, bro. I'm totally shocked about that. Anyway, bro, it was a great game. Loved it. I think Tom Brady should retire, go on a high note.
Yeah, might as well, right? Yeah,
might
just
as well.
Finishing off, and he's got kids to think about. It sounds like his wife maybe, or not his wife, his mom may be going through some health issues. So yeah, maybe it's time to focus on the family and enjoy it while he can.
Yeah, he's already cemented himself in the Hall of Fame. He's good to go, bro.
Yeah, there's no need for him to run the risk of having some type of injury, knee or back or anything like that. You might as well just enjoy it.
Don't be like Brett Favre. Don't be like Brett Favre. Oh man, good deal, bro. So apart from the Atlanta Falcons choking yet again in another Super Bowl, it seems that the left is in the trash as well, CJ.
Yes, and exactly kind of how we said it all along, that they keep doubling, tripling down, and now you're looking at the effects of that, and it's very much the demise in the end of the Democratic Party, the hard left. So Paul Craig Roberts put out a great post about what his thoughts are on the Western world and desperately needs alternative voices, and you take a look at what the hard left is doing, creating all these distractions. They're the ones that are creating the destruction. They're the ones that are harming free speech. So what's the point? Nobody's going to buy into that narrative, especially with, I look at it like in terms of the millennials and their political affiliation, and they see all these things. They see this happening. It's going to be very much influencing their decision on who they choose to follow in the future. So again, it's just going to completely just demise their efforts, V.
Dude, absolutely, bro. And right now they're like tearing each other apart, finding out who's going to be the new lefty leader and how far left they're going to be going in the Democratic Party. These guys are done. The rest of America, apart from the California lunatics, who are probably right now, I'm sure the Californians, there's going to be school districts out there. Like my buddy out in Cali was texting me. He's like, LA school district going to probably have like counseling on why the Patriots won. I mean that's the kind of
exactly.
Generation. Forget the millennials. It's generation snowflake, bro. It's like the millennials are splitting. You got the millennials that are a small group that are waking up, that are seeing the issues for what it is. Guys that we have like Jack and Rob from Solutions Matter. Those kids see what's going on, but we have Generation Snowflake. Generation Snowflake is so damn hard left, and it is not just encompassing with the kids of that generation, but also the adults, these leftover 60s hippies that just don't know how to lose. They're watching their entire radical idea, their entire radical livelihood that they've been trumpeting for and trying to win on the university campuses. I mean, think how bad this is for the left, CJ. They busted their ass for so many decades. They got into the most prominent positions in universities. They've gotten into the most prominent positions in the media, and now they're seeing their entire worldview being dashed against the stones, bro. They're literally being dashed against the stones. They just don't know how to deal with it, because these are all, whether they're somebody in their 60s and 70s, or whether they're someone who's 16 or 17, these people have been bullshitted. They've been lied to their entire life. They've been told that they can't lose. They've been told that everybody's a winner. They've been lied to, man, and now they're seeing their entire world view, their entire paradigm, CJ, completely altered and destroyed, and they don't know what the hell to do, man. They have no clue.
They don't, and no one is buying into their selective outrage. Today they're outraged regarding the Muslim ban, but where were they like this article goes out to say, where were they 16 years ago when we had two different administrations that were bombing the heck out of the Middle East, killing innocent civilians and families? Where was their outrage then? It was non-existent. Because why? Because their political party was in place. So yeah, we're basically seeing what I think will be the last year of the Democratic Party as we know it.
1000%, man. And Wall Street Journal has a great article out. Sharp turn left ahead. Beware. If Democrats have a road back to power, the resistance will drive them off of it, because they're going more far left. They're not stopping. They think, this is the insanity of it. Okay. They think that the reason why they lost this election, the reason why they've lost in so many states with Democratic governors, okay, is because they weren't left-wing enough. They weren't radical enough. Big mistake, morons. It's because you were radical, because you're so out of touch with America. This ain't Europe. This is the U.S. And this is why they don't get, CJ. They're just fighting, over leadership. They're fighting over everything. They had an interim leader, right? Who's the interim leader? Keith Ellison, this undercover Muslim guy.
Well, he's not. That sounds right. Right.
Yeah. Right. This jihadist sympathizer. Keith Ellison. They're fighting over. These are all angry people. Great picture of Keith Ellison on the Wall Street Journal blog. Just an angry, bitter dude with and everybody's an oppressor. There's always a protected race or a protected class. What a mess, you guys. You guys have no policies, and you're all. Think about it. The swearing in of General Mattis. The only questions the Dems could ask him: so, what do you think about LGBTQ? Can they serve openly in the military? And Mattis is like, ma'am, I just don't. I never discriminate against anyone. Madison gave him the most slick political answers that really didn't answer any questions. And the next thing is, well, what do you think about don't ask, don't tell? Do you think that's like, is that going to be repealed? I mean, they're just obsessed about like sex, dude. That's their whole entire thing. They are the party of the deranged. That's who they are. This is their biggest issue is gay sex. It's unreal, man.
Yeah, they could have easily have engaged. This would have been a great time for them to, change out some of their key leadership positions, take a look at things, kind of like the conservative group was forced to do, and say, look, we keep offering the same thing and we don't get any different results. It's time this year to truly look at an outsider.
Yeah.
So they had the opportunity to do that, but they're stuck in their own little bubbles. They're stuck in their belief system, their 1% class, to think that they know what is the best for everyone else. The thought of collectivism and to think that we universally all have to think and agree on the same things. Well, guess what? We don't. We have the right to think independently, and they don't foster that type of environment at all, V.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And it's they just don't get it, bro. They just don't get it, and I don't think they ever will, man. I don't think they ever will. And that's the left. 2017, CJ, we called it. It's the end of the left. It's over with. These guys are a bunch of morons. They're going over a cliff. They're going over a
And
cliff.
globally, right?
Yeah,
Globally,
globally.
we're seeing it, right?
Absolutely, man. With that being said, bro, we have nationalism's on the move in the EU as the end looms.
Right, absolutely. Marine Le Pen is definitely seeing a lot of traction with her movement of nationalism and calling out that, hey, this is our country. They're very concerned right now about Islamic fundamentalism, regarding the amount of people that they've brought in. And so she's seeing a huge move right now where you're seeing Le Pen, she's truly leading the anti-immigration, anti-EU movement. So just a pivotal year in the EU, that is for certain.
Huge, man. Absolutely huge. And it's happening there. It's going to it's happening in Italy. Um oh my God, man. It's like and on top of that, man, it's like who's gonna break first? Is it gonna be the Italians or is it going to be the French? I mean, that's the way it's going here, CJ.
No, you're exactly right. So, obviously with the breakaway, and then you look at, Angela Merkel completely, she's losing a lot of her base. They're not buying the narrative that people are starting to understand and wake up and say, look, why are all these other countries starting to do this, but yet you're still telling us to bring in more refugees, that we need to change our culture to accommodate to people who are not willing to assimilate in our environment. What's up with that? So again, that whole move. So if you see, you know, France, you see Italy, they convert more to a nationalism, get their own identities back away from the EU, and then you see Germany fall. It's game over. It's a complete new paradigm in the European bloc. So it's good to see, V.
Man, totally, bro. Absolutely. And with that being said, also, bro, we have Merkel, huh? Merkel seems to be choking in the wind over there.
Yeah. So the other group party that is the opposition party to her, I believe it's they are called she supports the CDU as a Bavarian sister party. That it fell 4 points to a 33% approval rating, and then the opposition party is gaining tractions on them. And you look at someone who's been the champion of U.S. policy the last several years. It's been Angela Merkel. She's bought into the sanctions against Russia. She's bought into the climate change. She's bought into we need to bring in the refugees. So it's just a matter of time that you see her numbers just continue to plummet.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing with left-wing policy, man. I mean, you can't run on a platform where you get up on stage and you honestly look your people in the eye and says, no, the biggest problem we are facing is not the rape refugees, but is climate change. Like you cannot seriously look at any one of the family members of the 1,200 girls that were either sexually assaulted or raped on New Year's Eve in Cologne and say, oh, the biggest problem we're facing is climate change. And there's some idiotic Germans who've lobotomized themselves, and a bunch of German men who have neutered themselves, that somehow feel that, hey, you know what? Maybe it is climate change that's the biggest threat. Maybe it's climate change that's driving the refugees into our country. That's what they're thinking.
I remember that.
Climate change is causing the migrants to migrate. No, you idiots. Unreal, bro. But this is the problem with Merkel. It's these libtards are so out of touch with reality. Okay, they would say such insane things as, "Oh, the migrant crisis is caused by by climate change. War in Syria is caused by climate change. You know, Hillary Clinton lost because of climate change. You know, this is the everything is blamed on climate change, and we need to do something about it because climate change, CJ, is affecting rape refugees, and the reason why the rape refugees are raping women is because of climate change as well. So if we don't fix this, I mean, once we fix climate change, and I mean, think about that statement right there, climate change. That whole that whole phrase, that axiom that's blurted around and parroted like it's some sort of a religious invocation, right? Some sort of a religious incantation. Climate change, climate change, climate change. Dude, what the f is climate change? The climate's always changing. I mean, you know, it's you know, one of the books I recommend for people is I think is written by Bill I forgot what the name the author's last name was, Bill Pearson, I think it was, the Brief History of Nearly Everything. Okay, great book. I've read it like when I was in college. Okay, just a great book. And the whole thing is this: you realize, you know, the friggin' Earth never had a stable climate. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Climate change? The climate's always changing, you morons. It's so stupid. Unreal, bro.
Yeah, we're going to change the climate. And by the way, we're going to have these energy tax, these carbon taxes credits just sitting here waiting. So that way the 1% continue to line their pockets with these. But yeah, no one's buying into it. I mean, how many more studies have to come out and say, you know, no, it's not climate change. It's a matter that things happen. It's not global warming.
Right.
It's the fact that the sun goes through cycles. I mean, there's so many studies that are out there that counter their belief, but yet they continue, you know, to double and triple down, kind of like earlier, you know. So now they want to regard anti-climate change people as radicals. You know.
Serious,
yeah, they don't want us to just to get open and to share the truth. But yeah, the whole thing with Merkel, if you remember correctly, V, I don't even think that she wanted to run again. I think that she wanted completely out. Obama, part of his last trip, you know, I think he went out there and spent like 2 whole days there, which was kind of unusual. You know, he was doing that last swing tour, and he spent 2 whole days there. They have a press conference together. She looks like a deer in headlights. She looks like she doesn't have any passion to be doing her role of business. I think he had to convince her to stay in place just for a little bit longer.
Yeah, 1000%, man. You know, when you look at, you know, she's trying to stay a little bit longer, and then she's trying to, you know, she doesn't realize the boat's left her. She's a woman that, like, the boat's already left port. Okay, the SS Libtard has left, and they've left Angla. No, actually, you know, the smart ones on the left decided, hey, you know what? Our globalist policies don't work, so they kind of abandoned the SS Libtard. And the SS Libtard is going full speed ahead with the Democratic Party on board and the Eurocrats. Okay, the Euro kleptocrats over at the EU are on there, and they're heading full steam ahead into an iceberg called reality. And they haven't realized this yet, CJ. And they're still out there. They're still talking about everything's a race issue. Everything is homophobia. You know, and you know, in between, you know, eating hors d'oeuvres and discussing, you know, various means of different types of anal sex. And yeah, that's what they're obsessed with that, bro. I don't know why. I mean, you know, they're obsessed with that. There's no other, you know, there's no other way to describe it. Okay. Apart from that, and apart from you know, talking about climate change, you know, such, you know, spewing BS figures like the IPCC, which the majority of the scientists on the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the majority of the scientists are not even climatologists. They're not even climatologists. They're social scientists, and we have a 97% consensus. There's not a 97% consensus anywhere.
No, never.
Like, what?
No.
Not even nowhere. What field do you know somebody has a 97% consensus? That's bullshit. I mean, if somebody says we have a 97% consensus, you need to run, because that is a lie. That is an agenda. You don't find 97% consensus on anything. You get 5 guys in a room, okay, and you ask them to interpret this. You'll get 5 different opinions. You take your freaking tax returns, because it's almost tax return season, right? Have your tax prepared by 5 different accountants. You'll get 5 different numbers. So what's this 97% consensus? Get the hell out of here. It's ridiculous, CJ.
Exactly.
All the means, and then, you know, after that, LGBTQ, RSTUV, and the 76 genders. I mean, you freaking retards, bro. That's why you guys lose, because you're morons. You're friggin' morons. That's why you guys lose. Oh yeah, bro. Seems like there's some honesty in London now, buddy.
Yeah.
Deutsche Bank is coming out with some. I mean, ever since the case against Deutsche Bank, it seems like the London's actually blinking, and now they're willing to show the actual physical amount of gold. What's going on over there, bro?
Yeah, so surprise. Yeah, absolutely. So, again, just in terms of the markets and the London bullion market, they're actually looking at trying to establish a little bit more clarity. This great article leads out and just says that the LBMA, whose members include HBC, JP Morgan, hopes to head off the challenge and persuade regulators that bank bullions should not have to face more erroneous funding requirements. Mm-hmm. So again, I think this is kind of, just going exactly back to the fact that the markets have been rigged for so long. They understand that people get it. And so now it's time to get back to more level of transparency with the metals.
Yeah, absolutely. Because most people don't realize, look, man, $26 billion worth of gold is traded OTC, over the counter. Okay. There's no real physical trade that's occurring, especially amongst Western banks. All they're doing is making a ledger change. Okay. It's like CJ's is like one bank and I'm another bank. And then I come across, I only got like, I got like 10 ounces of gold in my vault. And I'm telling CJ, well, CJ, I have 3,000 metric tons of gold in my vault. I will trade you 3,000 metric tons of gold for a loan of $20 billion. And CJ's like, all right, sure, no problem. Here's a contract, CJ. Here's a piece of paper for my, 3,000 metric tons of gold. Use that as collateral for whatever you want to trade with. And in exchange, I will take your, $20 billion. That's how it typically would work. Okay. And then everybody's happy. It's just a friggin' ledger change because there's no actual exchange going on. Because of the pressures, all of a sudden, the cases that have burst out forward with Deutsche Bank saying, yeah, we're rigging the gold market, we're rigging the silver market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange, which we've been talking about for freaking years, one of the few outlets talking about it for freaking years, making a major tractor pull on what's going on with the gold price, okay? Now, all of a sudden, the LBM is saying, oh, we want more transparency, right? Because the problem is this. You got $26 billion in gold that's traded in the LBMA, okay? But there are no official figures. Have you ever heard of a commodity exchange, CJ, where, 26 billion in gold of a specific commodity, which is really not a commodity. It's actually money. It's real money.
Right.
It's traded daily, but there's no official figures.
Nice.
Unreal.
Nice. It's a great setup.
Yep. Yep. And now the LBM is like saying, oh well, you know what? We're gonna release the monthly vault data on the 3-month lag, according to the people involved in the process. What we want to do is we want to show the gold bars that are held by the Bank of England, the gold clearing banks, which are the bullion banks, right? And then those operated by the security companies like Brinks, G4S, Loomis, which owns Viamat, and Malka Meat, which is a huge outfit that so like, yeah, we're gonna show all of that, and according to the person involved, setting the LBM. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Now they want to come clean. They want to say, hey, you know what? This is what we have, and let's see what they do. Because now, why are they doing this? Right.
Right.
Why are they doing this? Because there's supposed to be an estimated 400,000 large gold bars stored at the BOE. Right. That's supposed to be like $150 billion worth of gold. Why are they doing this? They're doing this because the financial reality is coming that the world system is going to crash. What I mean by crash is going to be a complete overhauling of the entire global economy. There's just too much friggin' debt. Okay, look at Japan. The lunatic Japan has over 227% debt to GDP. It is asinine. Okay, it is ridiculous. It is the most foolhardy thing you ever. You cannot have this much debt in the global system, number one. You have bubbles everywhere, number two. Okay? And what is happening here, man? What is happening here? Well, now they have to come forward and say, hey, you know what? This is what we have physically. We want to take an order of it. Why? If you notice, CJ, this is going to be a pattern amongst all Western countries and most countries throughout the world. They're going to have to start taking order. Why? Because the entire system is about to get reset. The global economic reset is coming. Is coming.
Right. Absolutely.
Everything that we're witnessing now, folks, I've said it so many times, and we've said it so many times on Rogue Money with so many of the writers, some of the contributors. We've said it so many times. What you are witnessing is the return of gold onto the world financial stage. That's what all this is about. Get ready. Oh, man. With that being said, CJ, we got the rise of another crypto, which is Monero.
Yeah. Interesting enough, Monero came onto the stage, what was like 3 or 4 years ago, and struggled for a little bit to make traction, because I don't think that they were completely understood in terms of what they wanted to do, but they've kind of remained true to the cause. When you think of the cryptocurrency itself, you thought about being able to have a lot more not necessarily transparency, but more so some privacy in terms of what your purchasings are, your online. So that to them has always kind of been their backing, more so than worrying about what the price of it is trading.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, they understand that hey, yeah, that is important, but their technology, V, has really enabled them to, kind of get in the forefront in terms of the way they're running their blockchain. So they have actually, developed their own system that is starting to pick up by others. So basically, what it does is that it doesn't necessarily, when the original Bitcoin talks about expanding, the blockchain to allowing the transactions to move faster and so forth, their system's already doing that. So they've been true to that, and again, I think that they're going to continue to see more movement in terms of their activity in the blockchain and the cryptocurrency industry.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, man. I think it's a huge move. Monero is I mean, after Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero is a big one that's coming on hard, man. And their whole thing with privacy is big. They're one of the best performing currencies of 2016 as well. And they're privacy laden. So that's going to be one to watch. Anybody who's looking for a Bitcoin alternative, Monero is really getting a lot of expansion, a lot of infrastructures going into there. So they're really expanding. With that being said, CJ, I think we've come to the end of the show. We went a little bit over. Give it your last closing comments, bro. Any announcements and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So today at 10 a.m. we have London Paul going to be going live with V. So we're always excited for that. I know I'm always just listening in and taking notes and everything, and just find it very intriguing to get that perspective. But yeah, so don't forget that we did a new show that we released Saturday and into Sunday, Generations Collide. Give that a look, a listen, see what your thoughts are. If you want to leave some comments in the comment sections, please feel free to do so. But appreciate you guys being with us here this morning.
Absolutely. And with that being said, guys, check us out on Rogue Money as well as roguemoney.net. If you have debt problems, check out myfreedomnow.us. And 10 a.m., get your notebooks ready. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to London Paul's podcast, his premium service. It is well worth it. With that being said, we'll see you back at 10 a.m. Have a great day, everyone. CJ, take it away.